Alrighty. Welcome back to the pod. I mean, this is the most just sly intro, really. I mean, so the podcast. What is the point of doing a podcast? What is it? Well, I think I started it so that I could, take inventory a little bit more. I could maybe kind of do an internal audit of what I think and what I feel and kind of how I'm oriented up towards life at the current time and the now. I have been thinking a lot about, my self-worth as a person. As odd as that is to say, I've been thinking about self-doubt. I've dealt with some self-doubt recently. I've hardship and struggle and sadness. I've been sad, kind of somber. Kind of been living this little somber little existence the past week, and welcome back to Gimme the Keys. Welcome back to it. Today's podcast is not gonna make any sense. Sorry. See ya. I know people are clicking off the video. Oh, this guy's crazy. See ya. I'm still here. I still have to deal with, these thoughts, and I still have to deal with this. I have to deal with this self-auditing, this inventory of my life. And so that's what we're going to do today on the episode, on the pod. This is going to be a little bit more personal. I'm going to be a little bit more, vulnerable on this podcast and, kind of talk about the last week, really. I don't even have any show notes today, man. I got nothing on the shelf, no show notes. I mean, I'm really just pulling up to this podcast because I don't have a lot of energy, and I've been sad, and I've been doubting myself, and I'm anxious, and I am, it's been a roller coaster of a week, I'll say that. It's been an up and down week. So let's just run through kind of where we left off last time, I guess. Last episode was the listening party. Pod 26 was a listening party here. And, I'm just not feeling this. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Come on now. Yep. And man, what a weird episode this is. I don't like that I stopped it. I just don't really know what I want to say. Isn't that sad? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Alright, I guess I'll do the podcast anyways, whatever. Pod 27, I mean, what made me stop was the fact that this is Pod 27, and I was like, man, I should have thought of something cool for Pod 27. I should have really, I just didn't think about the number, and 27 is a special number. That's how old I am. I mean, it's not, I guess that doesn't necessarily make it special, but I'm 27, and this has been a crazy year for me, my life this year. It's been, a lot's been going on, and I guess the whole theme of today's podcast is going to be just disarray, I guess. I mean, it might as well just be disarray, because this podcast doesn't have any format to it. I mean, she whiz. No intro, no nothing. Dang it. Darn. And I'm tired of all these podcasts that I see getting recommended to me, because I started one, and now YouTube's like, hey, why don't you, start comparing your podcast to all the other podcasts. And they show me, this, Cheryl, she's got her own little business mentorship, motivation podcast. She's got a cool intro, and she's, all happy, and, she's, got a big schedule to her podcast, and it's going to flow nice, and people are going to walk away with some value, she says. And, her podcast is all, orderly and whatnot, and I'm over here struggling. But you know what? The whole reason I started a podcast, why I wanted to actually set it up to where I have a format to speak into, is so that like I said, I'll keep the first part in. It's just to take inventory. And lately, let's just get into it. I've been feeling it has been a hard week. I'll say it to all my friends and family. It's been a hard week, and here's what I've been struggling with. Well, it all started last Tuesday. Today is Saturday, one of the last days of March. Saturday, March 30th, 2024. And it's all started on Tuesday. Not even this week, but the previous week. I went and I worked out. The previous 2 Tuesdays ago started out nice. It was a good day. I was getting a lift with a friend. I talked about it on a listening party. He is a man from South Africa, and he is an ex-professional rugby player, and he's a tank. He's like a giant jack dude, like I said on the last podcast, okay? And we worked out, and basically, I couldn't hang. I mean, I finished the workout, but the following day, basically, this whole part of my arm was dysfunctional. My tricep had shut down. I could no longer bend my arm. I could not. Arm is supposed to bend all this full range. This is normal. My arm was peaking at this angle. I could maybe get, 15 degrees off the plane or whatever. And so I couldn't bend the arm. I couldn't even eat. I couldn't lift my hand up to my face to eat cereal. And so I had to do everything all discombobulated with my left hand for a whole week because I tore my tricep. And so, waking up the first thing in the morning, realizing your arm's not working, every day, that's not fun. So that was the Tuesday. That was kind of the workout that initiated me tearing my tricep. Okay, let's fast forward later in the Tuesday. I'm leaving a work meeting that had 4 people at it. I'm leaving a meeting that I could have probably skipped, and I wouldn't have lost any, I wouldn't have missed anything important. And I'm leaving that meeting, and I get rear-ended by some lady named Tanya. Freaking Tanya, dude. And so Tanya runs into me, not bad. I'm fine. We were both stopped. I was in front of her, and we were both stopped, and I had started to accelerate, and then, you know, because I was merging, and then I kind of stopped again. I was kind of inching in to merge, and then she just ran into me, you know. She was kind of behind me, stopped, and then started her car into me, whatever. She hit me and, you know, knocked the sunglasses off the top of my head. I'm all, you know, shook. I'm like looking through the back window at her like, hey, we're pulling in right here. Like, you know, I'm about to start recording on my phone. If she tries to take off, I'm going to record and get her license plate. And I'm like, pull in, lady, pull in right now. And she's like, yes, okay. She was terrified. I mean, I was like, ah. And we pull into a freaking Hardee's or whatever it was, and, you know, do that whole spiel of, are you okay? Do you have insurance? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. We swap insurance, and now I got to deal with insurance. I got to go, you know, her insurance is going to cover it. Thank God for Progressive. Thank God she even had insurance, right? So it's all covered by, you know, the insurance folk, and, you know, but I still have to, one, take the time out of my day to go take it to the shop to get it inspected. They're going to schedule me. I got to kind of wait in limbo with this, you know, half beat up car. I'm driving around, you know, in a, you know, I have a nice car normally, and now I just feel like I'm this scrub on the streets, and whenever I merge in front of somebody, I feel like they see the damage on my car and they just think, yeah, you can't drive, buddy. Like, you know, yeah, that's why your car looks like that. You shouldn't be pulling in front. I just think everyone's like critiquing me in my car, I guess. And, you know, so I got to wait till April 8th to even go get it fixed. And then I got to take it to the shop, drop it off, and then they're going to pay for me to get a rental. I don't know how I'm going to get from the shop to the rental car. You know, I guess they're going to pick me up or something, but, you know, and then I'll have some random car for 3 days. Probably won't be able to, you know, I have to move all my stuff out of the, it's just a process to get the car fixed, okay? Even though financially I'm not having to come out of pocket for it, you know, I'm coming out of pocket in terms of my, you know, spirit, I guess, because I don't want to have to deal with all this, but this is the nature of being an adult, and this is what we do when these things happen. So, okay, so that's the second thing. The tricep wasn't fun. Couldn't bend my arm. Couldn't brush my teeth. Couldn't dang near do anything. Couldn't work out. Yeah, couldn't go to the gym. You know, because the workout has just destroyed my anatomy completely. I mean, I was down and I couldn't even move my right arm, and, you know, and then I get rear-ended, and then my car's messed up. Okay, whatever. And then on top of those two things, just wait, gets worse. I start getting sick. I've been sick. You can probably even hear it right here, right now. I'm ill. I'm not healthy. You know, I've got something going on here. Whoops. My face. My sinuses. And it's not allergies. It's something different. I don't know what it is. I'm not even going to say it. But it's something. You know, it's something. Anyways, you know, normally when I get ill, it maybe lasts a day. I mean like 48 hours at max. We're coming up on like 2 weeks for me. I mean, in 3 days from now, it'll be Tuesday, and that will be 2 weeks since, you know, I guess I'm coming up on like 10 days, I guess. Whatever, 10 days. So I've just been feeling ill on top of getting rear-ended and my arm not working. Then the following day, I'd start feeling ill. Maybe the workout compromised my whole immune system and maybe I caught something at the gym that me and this guy went to. It was a unusual gym that we went to. Maybe I caught something there. I don't know. It was a pretty dirty gym the more I think about it. Kind of an old school bodybuilder type gym with, you know, metal plates and whatnot. So maybe I caught some at the gym. I don't know. So those are three things, and then let's add the real dagger that was really, you know, the straw that broke my back, and that was me starting to look at taxes. And most people look forward to getting the tax time because they get a return. the IRS says, hey, we're taking, a little more than we should have out of all your paychecks throughout last year, and we owe you some, and they'll cut you a check for, XYZ amount. And people typically get money from the IRS. That's when you're a W-2. That's when you're an employee. I am not that. I'm 1099. That means I owe taxes come tax time. And if you do the math, what do they take out of your paycheck every week? 20, 15, 20, 30%, something like that. So imagine at the end of the year, you got to just cough up 20%, So my taxes are, let's use an odd number or an example number. Let's say I made $50K last year. Well, 10% would be 5 and 20% would be 10. So that means that at, April 15th, hey, Mr. 1099, you made $50K. Go ahead and give us $10,000. So I did my taxes and I realized I'm in that similar situation right there. And I got to come up with, whatever my taxes were. And they were similar to that example there. And so I realized, that's all the money I have. And now I'm like, realizing I'm kind of broke, and I'm thinking about my student loans and, thinking about all the stuff I got to pay for. And I'm like, dang, I'm broke, man. Not only am I broke, I'm in debt, and I'm injured, and I'm sick, and my car's destroyed. And that's been what I've been dealing with the past week. Okay. So it's a lot, and I don't mean to be sharing it in the public like this, but when I started the podcast and I said that I didn't really say it this directly, but I started it as a vessel of my spirit, and at the time when I started it, I was feeling real inspired and real, and kind of joyful and peaceful when I started it, and I wanted to use the podcast as a tool to express that feeling. And so then I start podcasts, I start doing these, and now we're at a point in my life where, guess what? Things aren't jolly and peaceful. I'm stressed. And so y'all are getting the real version. And this just is what it is, And so I think it's useful to share these down moments, these up moments, and these down moments, because excuse me. What was I saying? I was about to say something important. Oh yeah. Hey, this is life. Okay. I get so sick and tired. Excuse my tone. I get a little sick and tired of seeing all this stuff online of these people, these perfect, perfectly little packaged humans, and they just got everything going for them. They got, I'm just so sick and tired of comparing myself to people online, of your fake lives online, of your silly little egotistical, I'm going to do this so that I can, come across as this, that, and the other. I'm defiant towards that. And so this is why I do, this is why my podcast is the way that it is, And this is a self-narrative. This is my life's work. Go back and listen to pod 2. This is my life's work, Right here, right now, this moment on this podcast is I'm sharing with you the most current version of me, who I am. This is me. I am me. I am. And, last week I didn't really feel like myself, and that was super necessary for me. It humbled me. I had some real moments where I felt truly kind of broken down a little bit and kind of like, like I needed some help from, something outside of me. And I was praying a lot and kind of talking with God and having more time with God and just giving him my heart. And I was praying, and, I had cried a couple times. Just sadness, just filled with, brokenness and just feeling that. And, and I was able to I wanted to address the feeling of my sadness. I wanted to address the negative feeling. And I wanted to, lean into it a little bit. And a couple other factors that are relevant to this state that I'm in is on St. Patrick's Day, that was March 17th, me and Age committed to this self-improvement challenge, I guess you could say. Kind of like a 75 hard, but just kind of amending the rules a little bit. And we both kind of told each other, hey, I'm going to commit to this for this 75 days. And she had told me what she was going to commit to for the 75 days. And my commitment was that I'm going to, abstain from, do a detox, basically. No booze, no substances, no anything besides just food, I guess. You can imagine. No drugs, no alcohol. No nicotine, no anything, okay? So I'm abstaining from these things that are typically part of, my weekly schedule, not to an extreme, I'm not, but they're things that, soften the day for me, I guess you could say. They're things that I look forward to, end of the day, or, I'm going to go down to the jacuzzi. I'll bring out a couple beers, just these things that I like the phrase soften the day, but I just, I committed. So, hey, I'm going to abstain from these things, and I'm going to do it because, we're both doing something that's good for us, and this is good. Alcohol is not good for you. It is bad for you. It is horrible for your health, obviously, but it's fun, right? But anyways, so I've been abstaining from these things, and so I feel like it was God kind of I wouldn't say testing me, but in this state of all this drama happening in my life, these very, almost stereotypical obstacles of being an adult, like a car accident or taxes or, sickness, this is all part of being a human. And I felt like, God was wanting me to actually feel the emotion, and I had nothing to turn to. I had no escape. I had no trap door to be like, oh, I'm dealing with all this. Well, let me just go out on the balcony and, do that, escape for a little while type thing. So I'm not doing any drugs or alcohol. And it was just I had to sit and feel everything. And it was negative emotion. I didn't want to feel that, but I got to a point where I just started just really freaking feeling it in my daggone heart and realizing, oh, I haven't actually addressed these feelings in a long time. Why? Because I, cover it up. I numb it, or I'll do something to kind of take my mind off it type thing. And so I feel like this is all happening for a reason here. And so, last weekend, last Saturday, a week back in time from the time I'm recording this, that was the peak of my sickness. That was kind of everything was, that Eminem song. Sometimes it feels like the world's on my shoulders. Everyone's leaning on me. Sometimes it feels like the world's almost over. I felt like I had the weight of the world on me, and I'm sick, and I can't even stand up. And I took 4 days to rest. I didn't do anything. I didn't go to the gym, and I didn't leave the house, and I didn't go to work for like 4 days because I was trying to just get healthy. I'm like, surely tomorrow I'll wake up feeling better. Wrong. Wake up each day feeling, basically just as bad as I felt the previous day. And I wasn't getting healthier, and I'm like, dang, like this is tough. And then it's like, I have to pay my taxes, but I can't even like get up right now and go work, let alone try and go interact with pitch a homeowner, walk up to a stranger's house and try and, transfer my energy. Like I'm downtrodden right now and I'm sick and I don't feel confident and I'm worried and I'm anxious, and it's just like, I don't feel like I'm capable. I had to just deal with that. I had to just deal with it, and I had to accept it and feel it. And I was praying a lot and writing and kind of journaling a little bit, kind of, trying to just do some soul search and find out who I am. How do I handle adversity? What kind of person am I in the face of adversity? And anyways, so fast forward a little bit. I'm sick on Sunday. I'm sick on Monday. I'm sick on Tuesday. I'm even sick I'm still sick now. So the sickness hasn't even really like fully gone away. But like I'm talking like bedridden sick. Like I can't even handle the task of being upright. I was that sick. And then so Asia's out of town. She's back in Illinois with family, and I'm, regretful that I'm not there and feeling bad and blah, 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 blah. So anyways, I take her to the airport on Wednesday, and so she's been out of town since Wednesday, and it's Saturday. So the last three to 4 days I've been here alone with me, just me and Remy, and on Wednesday, I'd been thinking about this brokenness that I'm feeling. And on Wednesday, I felt good enough to be able to make some small progress on Wednesday. So I took Asia to the airport at like 4 a.m., something ridiculous. Took her to the airport, and then, I come back home and I think I sleep for like an hour, and then I wake up and I'm feeling decent enough to where I am going to not lay around all day today. I'm not going to be a victim. I'm done making excuses. I'm done, letting this negativity, even though it's somewhat tangible and somewhat valid, it's a sickness, but I'm done letting this hold me down. I'm done making excuses. I'm going to go to work today. I'm going to freaking get up and go to work, I'm going to start by going to the gym, even though I feel brittle. I feel like a piece of freaking pretzel, man. I mean, just brittle. Arm gonna break if I try and do a curl or something. But I'm going to the gym to do something, even if it's just sit in a sauna for an hour. I'm getting up, getting out of this house, and I'm going to face the day. I said that on Wednesday. And I do that on Wednesday, and my only goal for work on Wednesday was I'm going to get out there and hit 100 doors. Just go knock 100 doors, man. I don't care if I don't talk to a soul. If I can get my knuckles on 100 people's doors, knock, 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 then this day will be a success, regardless of the outcome. And I go do that. And and on my first few pitches, I'm feeble. I'm dang near, they think I'm there asking them for spare change or something. I mean, I'm not very confident, and I'm sick, and I'm, a little, scared or whatever. But, I start doing it, I start getting, and then before I know it, I'm having some good interactions with people on the door. and we're talking about solar, and things are going well, and then all of a sudden I'm getting, a bill. Someone's giving me their electric usage. Oh, cool, man. Well, you're moving forward. This is the telltale sign that you are moving forward here, and you're going to check it out. And I set a couple RFPs, set a couple appointments, and I told myself, I am not leaving this neighborhood until I hit my goal. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm done taking shortcuts. I'm done cutting my own self short, giving up on a set in the gym because I'm getting tired, and I've realized, giving up on the day. I'll just go home. I've been out here for an hour. I'll just go home. I'm done giving in. Oh, and there was this other thing that happened in the midst of all this and this was a God moment type thing. I'm out. This is when I was just starting to feel capable again. This was around the Wednesday, and I tell myself I'm gonna go do a 6-mile hike today out in the mountains. And it wasn't a nice day. It was cloudy, it was overcast, and I tell myself I'm gonna do this hike even though I don't feel like it, even though I'm abstaining from anything fun. There's no gummies that I can take on the hike. I just have to be here with my thoughts on this hike. No one's around, no music, my throat hurts, I'm sneezing, snotting everywhere, I'm disgusting, and I'm out there alone in the mountains of Colorado hiking on a gloomy day by myself, and I'm sick, and I'm saying, this is when I had this moment. This is actually what triggered this whole sentiment of I'm done giving up. Is I said I'm doing this hike, I'm not turning around. I remember within the first freaking 0.45 miles, I wanted to just go back. Just go back to the car and go home, lay on the couch and watch YouTube. Come on. And I said, no, I am not doing that. I'm doing this gosh darn hike right now. And so I get about a mile and a half, and it's snowy. It was already snowy. And I'm breathing hard, and I'm actually struggling, and I'm thinking, it's starting to get more cold than I had anticipated. It was like getting down like low 40s, almost in the 30s, and and I'm starting to get a little worried, and I'm like, no, we're doing this. And I started this mantra in my head of, I keep going even when things get hard, and I don't give up. And I said it, and I meant it, because I'm out there alone and no one's around to hear it. And I'm saying this to myself. I keep going even when things get hard, and I'm the type of person that is courageous. And so I'm 2 miles into the hike now, and I get to the kind of the top of where the elevation gain kind of wanes off. Like the first 2 miles is pretty steep elevation gain. It's like 1,400 feet, and I get to the top there, and I set my bag down, and I sit down, and I'm just staring into the mountains, and it's gloomy. And then all of a sudden this wind brushes over my neck, and the hairs on my neck stand up, and I feel like it's how when you just the wind, it was like something was being spoken to me from some other realm. And I felt like it, I interpret it as being a message from God that this is going to get worse before it gets better. And let's see if you're really as determined as you are telling me you are, as you're praying to me. And I knew that the weather was going to take a negative turn. And I still got 4 miles left on the hike. And I reach in my bag, get out my sweater, very unprepared for any sort of, serious inclement weather. And wind starts picking up all of a sudden. Before I know it, I'm hiking, I'm praying, I'm like, God, test. And I wasn't saying it this way, but it was like, God, like God, I'm faithful. God, I'll be faithful to you even in this broken state I'm in. And so I get to hiking, and within 30 minutes of me kind of realizing that, it turns into a full-on blizzard. Face is covered in snow. I'm freezing. I'll put up pictures. It came on so quick. And I'm out there alone, and I can't even see. Like, the visibility is cutting down because all this blizzard's coming through, and I'm out there hiking, one man by himself with his thoughts and his God. And I'm out there worried. I'm really like, I was on the fringe, and I felt very alone and like vulnerable. Like, man, if there's a pack of wolves out here right now, I am fresh meat for these guys. Like, I am not prepared for this, and I'm trugging along, and it's, I'm telling myself, I keep going even when things get hard. I keep going even when things get hard. I don't give up. There is no turning back at this point. I'm 3.5 miles into the hike. I cannot turn around. Turning around would actually be a worse option at this point. I'm past halfway. And so I'm going, and I'm like, it's an hour, when you're out, when you have 3 miles left of a hike, you're out there an hour by myself, and I'm scared, and I'm feeling this brokenness, and I feel like it's, a true test, and anyways, I finished the hike, by the end of it, the freaking storm passes, and on the last little half mile, the freaking blue sky's out, the birds are chirping, I'm listening to John Denver, and I'm like, man, I can do this. I am capable. I am. And so that was kind of the catalyst, I guess you could say, for this determination. And I guess ever since Wednesday/Thursday, the past 3 days, I've had that mentality, of I'm not on social media right now. I'm not stuck in an endless cycle of consuming memes and whatever else is on those things. I'm not drowning out my emotions with drugs and alcohol. I'm feeling everything. I'm stepping up to the plate in terms of work. I'm committed. I'm done taking shortcuts and calling it a day early type thing. I'm going to the gym, and I'm working out as hard as I physically am capable of. In the past 3 days, things have been simplified, and they've been easy and good. And, I feel like I have a little bit more of my courage back. And I've been thinking about this podcast for this week, and, I didn't want to put on any fronts. I didn't want to pretend that, my album's doing great, blah, 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 everything's no, this is the reality of my life, and I want to speak the truth. I want to be as transparent as I can, and, and I want to give y'all the keys, and I want to give myself the keys, and this is the truth. This is the most authentic way that I can be right here, and this is where we're at. And things are looking up, I'll say that, because the past couple weeks have been nothing but down. But here we are. That's, I guess, pod 27. I guess that's kind of it. It's disgusting. I've been disgusted by myself all week. Up until Wednesday, I guess. I'm proud of myself. And I can say that. I am proud of myself. And I feel this fire underneath the surface kind of bubbling up. That, okay, the past 4 months on the off season, I've had my conscientiousness turned off, basically. I was getting more into my openness and creativity. But now, we're turning a new leaf as we're picking up steam heading into summer here. And we're turning up the conscientiousness, and we're cranking back on all the creativity. We're turning that down a little bit because we've got to make money to survive. So I'm becoming very tapping into my conscientiousness, and I am capable of great things, and I am going to reach my goals, and I am going to do what is hard, and I am going to fail, and I am going to keep going. So give me the keys.